Hello and welcome to the SelecTraderPro trade tutorial series. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at another variation of the trend trade. Much like our previous trend variation, this one also gives us an opportunity to hop in when we don't necessarily have a qualified entry at the turn bar or on the first color bar. As we can see here, our blue line is not above the purple line, so everything isn't quite set up here, but we will look to get out once the market moves past the high of the day. And our entry price will be one tick above the high for a long trend of this type. And the only other thing we need to see is our purple line outside of its neutral zone in the direction we're attempting to take the trade. So for a long trend, we need to see the purple line at 51 or above. So in this case, we see that this is the bar that pushes past the high of the day, and we would enter at one tick above the high, entering before the close of this bar, but it would hit profit target before the close of bar 8 and grab a couple extra ticks with the runner. Now let's take a look at the same setup as it's setting up so we can learn how to anticipate it ahead of time. All right, so I can see that I did not have an entry on this turn bar. The market reversed a little too long for me to hop back in at the start of another trend, but I am heading close to the high of the day. So I want to take note, and I see that my high of the day is currently 23,399. So this lets me plan ahead. I know my entry will be one tick above that. So that will be 23,400. So I can be prepared as I'm just waiting for my purple line to get outside of the neutral zone. Bar 5 closes right under the high. I see my purple line is right outside of the neutral zone, so I could go ahead and put in my order at 23,400 before the next bar closes, and that way by the time that it does, we will have entered into this trade and been able to take part in some of this trend. Next, let's take a look at a short example. Here we have a similar situation, only this time we're looking to go short. We did not have a qualified entry on the turn bar or first color bar to hop in at the start of this trend move, but we can look to get into a trade once the market heads into the low of the day. Again, all we're looking to see is that our price bar will push past the low and our purple line is outside of its neutral zone, which it is here on bar 9, and we'd enter at one tick below the low of the day. Now a note is that we cannot enter these trend trades past bar 10, which simply means that bar 10 is the last bar that can push through the high or low that we can consider entering this type of trend trade. Later than that, if the first bar to push past the low, in this case would have been bar 11, it would not be qualified. So let's go ahead and take a look at this trade as it sets up so we can get the hang of anticipating these ahead of time. So again, I see that we did not have any qualified entry where we'd normally like to hop in at the start of a trend. We are fairly close to the low of the day. You can see here our vertical red line. So it might be likely that I can have a possible entry for this variation of the trend trade. So as we get closer to the low, I want to keep in mind my current low is 1830.6. So my entry price would be 1830.5. So I can get ready to put that order into my dome as soon as my purple line gets outside of the neutral zone. And we can see here it's right on the edge, so fairly certain that if the next bar closes as a red color bar, it'll push past the low and my purple line will get outside of the neutral zone as well, which this one does. An extra step of caution, we could also wait for it to plot to make sure that the purple line is outside of the neutral zone and then attempt a retracement entry back to our entry price, which would be one tick below the low. And we're able to hop in and take part in a good chunk of this run, even though we weren't able to hop in at the beginning. So this variation of the trend trade gives us quite a few additional opportunities if we have moves that are not qualified at the start, or if we happen to miss it for some reason. Thank you for watching this lesson, and we hope you can take what you've learned with SelecTraderPro and apply it to your daily trading to improve your profit.